Well, ahoy, wooden boat fans. We have in store for you what will no doubt be the most exciting video in our series to date. First off, we're going to start off with Ronan, myself, and a group of really talented tradesmen finishing up the last of the site work to prepare our little boatyard in the woods. Then the big day comes, and we undertake what turns out to be a very challenging and exciting move, 4 hours around Puget Sound from Port Townsend to Camano Island with Syrinx. We end up making it literally within spitting distance of the boat shed pad when disaster strikes. But I am not going to tell you about it. We're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the big move. While waiting on our logger Bob to finish up his last job, I decided to take advantage of the time and perform a quick topographic survey of our building site. This will be helpful for building planning, permitting, etc. Many use a 3D LiDAR scanner for this now, but the process of converting the point cloud to a topo map is so involved that I opted for a traditional simple approach using a construction laser along with a laser sensor on a measuring pole. This let me gather elevations across a 10 by 10 foot grid. These were then transferred from the notebook to a paper grid, and finally elevation lines were drawn to complete the topographic map of our site. We were exceedingly fortunate to hook up with a real pro, Bob Kirschgessner from Precision Logging and Excavating. Bob and his assistant Jake made short work of the 15 large cedar and fir trees located over the footprint of our shop and boat shed. Bob was really cooperative as I carefully selected certain sections of the cedar logs to retain to make siding and trim for the shop. Once we accounted for waste, this ended up being about half of the marketable timber. Following a day of tree cutting, Bob spent another day excavating the stumps, breaking them apart, and burning the debris. Finally, on the third morning, our log truck driver Eddie showed up with his self-loader, while Bob used a grade beam in his excavator claw to smooth over the building site. Lastly, I followed up using the Bobcat for final grading with an emphasis on getting the boat shed pad very level. Hey, I just wanted to take a look at the dozen or so western red cedar logs that we were able to save from the logging. We have logs here ranging length from 8 to 15 feet, and we're really fortunate that only 1 or 2 of them have any rot at all in the middle. Most of them are solid wood, which is unusual in this part of Washington because we get a lot of rain, so cedars usually have quite a bit of rot in the middle. This is going to make outstanding board and batten siding and window and door trim for our wood shop. Really feel blessed and fortunate to have access to this. Be able to use trees that came right off the footprint of the shop itself. Kind of honor the trees, so to speak, that we had to take. Yeah, we were able to send a little bit more onto the wood. Onto the lumber mill as well, another truckload to share with others. Help claw back a little bit of the cost of this work, not a lot, but every little bit helps. We're on a tight budget here. Yeah, really excited to be able to use this to bring our wood shop out and then have that as the place we do the woodwork on Syrinx. Ronan, what are we up to out here tonight?
Well, we're out here just throwing down some vapor barrier for the gravel, and I don't know, guys, what do you think? Think this looks pretty level? Because we did our best.
It's as good as it's gonna be, because it's 6 p.m. almost on Sunday night, and Monday morning at 9 we got gravel showing up. So I think it's pretty flat though. We'll be able to do any last little bit of flattening with the gravel. So we just got to get this down, and we got to put some geotextile fabric under the rest of the areas. And we got a bat flying around us here too. That's a pretty good sized one. Hopefully it won't bite us.
Let's hope not.
Well, it's a beautiful morning here on Camano Island. Ronan and I were out with the lights last night, putting down the geotextile fabric and the vapor barrier under the boat shed. The truck showed up bright and early, about 7:45 this morning. We've spread 4 truckloads of railroad ballast, and we got probably another 4 to 6 to go. Then we're going to put down some crushed cobble on top of that, just as a fine aggregate to finish the surface up. Leveled the boat shed area with the laser. Had it leveled before we put the vapor on. Did another level once the gravel's down here. I'm going to try and create just a ever so slight crown so any water goes outside of the shed. And it's very exciting. We're close to being ready to bring the boat. It was hard to sleep the next few nights as I nervously thought through the details of the big move. But finally the time came and Ronan and I caught the last ferry over to Port Townsend in anticipation of loading up Syrinx the next morning. All right, Ronan, what are we doing out here this morning?
It's about 7:45 in the morning, and we're at the Boatyard in Port Townsend, Washington, getting ready to move Syrinx to Camino Island.
You excited about that, or is it too dang cold to be excited?
It's a little bit early and cold, but I'm excited.
About 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's specialized work doing this.
And before this, I was building boats for 9 years.
Oh, really? Where'd you build boats?
Out at Ranger Tugs, Cutwater.
Okay, cool. Hey, Ronan. Michael worked for quite a while trying to get Syrinx onto the trailer, but she was on such low and wide blocking it made it difficult to get the trailer under her. If anyone is planning to have a boat move using one of these awesome Brownell trailers, do yourself a favor and make sure the keel is blocked up at least a foot or more and the centerline blocking is no wider than about 30 inches. That'll allow the trailer to get around her much more easily. After struggling for a bit, we decided to pivot, and I asked the Boatyard crew to bring over the travel lift. The folks at Sea Marine have been just wonderful to work with through this entire journey, and honestly, Syrinx would have been scrapped long ago if it was not for their passion for wooden boats. The crew saw what we needed and jumped right in to lend a hand. Their travel lift made short work of lifting Syrinx onto the rig, and we were in business. Ronan and I set up about 5 cameras to film the move as Michael carefully secured the boat to the trailer, and then we were off.
On the road?
Yeah. I'm getting a good shot right now, actually. We're going by a lighthouse with the Port Townsend Leo's Boatyard in the background and the water.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you guys go.
Okay. Love ya.
You guys have fun. Love you.
Love
Bye.
you, bye.
Driving by Boat Haven Marina. Say hi to Tally Ho. It's Syrinx, your little sister.
We had to take out the mailbox so that the boat could make the turn, you know, to get in the driveway. Boat just got delivered. Here it is. Here she is.
I've been worried for months about the turn into our driveway. Luckily, the removable mailbox gave us just the clearance needed, and Michael made it look like pulling into the grocery store parking lot. As she snaked her way back toward our little boatyard, Syrinx said hi to a chipmunk or two as she glided gracefully through the treetops. The move had gone flawlessly up to this point, and I was on cloud 9. The final critical maneuver was negotiating a 3-point turn, allowing us to back Syrinx into her parking spot. Everything looked great until we hit a soft spot and the trailer sunk in. Attempts to back up or turn the trailer sideways just dug a deeper hole. We're stuck in soft gravel. so close to making it, and then it got stuck.
Yeah.
In the ensuing hours, we attempted to gain traction any way we could, while working with the onboard trailer hydraulics and bottle jacks to get the rear tires and suspension up out of the hole. It quickly became apparent we needed more room to maneuver the semi-tractor, and I had to quickly cut several new trails around the rig with my Bobcat to gain clearance, remove loose soil, and help pull both the cab and the trailer. Praying to the gods of traction. If I'd not been holding a camera, I would have jumped about 10 feet in the air when I saw the truck moving finally.
Boat's heavy, that's why it's not coming up always.
Right. Careful coming down. It's going to come off of these front pads, right? As long as it stays on the back pads, you're good.
The next morning, Dennis came back out and helped make some final adjustments to the boat stands and the blocking. So here's our final jacking arrangement. Got a bow jack there and three regular boat stands of varying heights along each side, chained in place. Got some good stout blocks under her. Let us know in the comments if there's anything, you know, obviously awry, but I think she's pretty solidly in place for now. So after a 7-hour struggle, we finally got the trailer loose. I really have to emphasize that that our driver Michael and Dennis from Associated Boat Transport were the heroes of the day. These guys were great. You know, I'd also like to say that I take full responsibility for that trailer getting stuck. We had a lot of new gravel down here, and even though with coarse railroad ballast type gravel, new gravel has a tendency to be less firm, and we knew that. I thought we'd had enough compaction from all of the excavator and dump truck traffic, but apparently not. We are still getting stuck. No substitute for rain and time on getting gravel compacted. But when things look most dire, that's when the folks from Associated Boat Transport, Michael and Dennis, just they were the heroes of the day. They just came. They methodically worked on the truck, and we worked it slowly to get it loose. I take a tiny bit of solace in that the final little piece to get the truck moving was when we hooked my Bobcat up to the semi with a tow strap and both pulled together, and that was enough to get her rolling, and then we were in business. So Syrinx is now over my shoulder here in her new home, and ready for the next phase of project, and I could not be more enthusiastic and relieved to be at that stage here. Ronan, what do you think about the move?
Well, it was a lot of fun. It was a really great experience. It was super interesting to see how they exactly got the boat onto the trailer, because I mean, I couldn't even imagine moving a thing like this. It's huge. But I had to drive behind it the whole way, so that was kind of cool to see it drive through Seattle. And
put his race car driver skills to the test for us to keep up and do the filming.
But yeah, it was just an overall really cool experience, and I'm glad I went with my dad, and yeah, I had a lot of fun.
And your timing was perfect, Ronan. He had to go to work right when the truck got stuck, so you didn't get to crawl around underneath it pulling gravel out. Let's see, Ronan, you ready to learn a little something about boat and barn building now?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's
All
get
right,
to it.
we got some work to do, and that does lead to next steps. So, boat shed that we're working. I'm finalizing the plans for the Gothic arch boat shed. I got to turn that in for permitting. That'll take about a month, I think. Working on the history. I've been in contact with the Royal Maritime Museum in Greenwich. They have the original drawings for Syrinx from the Bertham company in their archives, and they are making high resolution scans, which I should have shortly. Also been in contact with several prior owners and found some magazine articles from the 1970s on the restoration when she was found in a boat shed in England covered in coal dust. So that's all interesting. We'll have a whole episode or more on the history of Syrinx. That should be very interesting coming up down the road. Thanks, and as always, we really appreciate your support of the project, your comments on YouTube and the likes, and please take care.
Thanks, everyone.